Now, EU antitrust regulators have hit Alphabet unit Google with a record $2.7 billion fine, and they have indicated they will take a tough line with the company in two other ongoing cases as well. Now, the EU Commission found that Google had systematically given prominent placements in searches to its own comparison shopping service and demoted those of rivals in such results. Now, the European Commission has given Google 90 days to stop favouring its own shopping service or face a further penalty. Now, the additional penalty is fairly interesting. It could amount to up to 5% of Alphabet's average daily global turnover. The company has also been accused of blocking rivals in the online search advertising, with the Commission warning of deterrent fines if Google is found guilty of breaching EU rules.
What Google has done is illegal under EU antitrust rules. It has denied other companies the chance to compete on the merits and to innovate. And most importantly, it has denied European consumers the benefits of competition, genuine choice and innovation.
Elena Casas joins me now live from Brussels with more data on this story. Elena, this investigation has been running since 2010, I believe, but we're only getting a decision nearly 8 years later. Why did it take so long?
Well, for years, the European Commission tried to persuade Google to reach a settlement which would avoid any threat of an actual fine. And Google responded to EU concerns with things like offering to change the colour or the size of the font used on its Google shopping ads. And so the Commission really arrived at the conclusion that Google wasn't taking its concerns very seriously. So having tried the carrot, it's now going for the stick and is very much on the offensive.
Indeed, in a very big stick it is indeed. Let's assume, though, for argument's sake, that Google at this point accepts the EU Commission's fine. But how can it comply with the ruling without in turn reducing revenue from its search and ad matching algorithms?
Well, it's very unlikely to accept the fine. Google has already said that it essentially rejects the whole premise of the EU decision. It says it only orders its search results in the most convenient way for the consumer, and it says it's considering a legal challenge in the European Court of Justice. Now, that, of course, could drag on for years, so Google may not have to make any practical change to its search results just yet. But what the Commission wants is for other shopping services, like, for example, Amazon, to get equally prominent placement to Google Shopping whenever you Google a consumer good that you want to buy, which, of course, would hit Google's bottom line.
Now, Google, of course, has argued that in its view, there's no evidence of harm to either consumers or firms advertising their wares online. But is there evidence available to actually support that position?
There's no evidence really to prove or disprove that the fact that this harms consumers. Now, what the Competition Commissioner Margrethe Vestager was arguing is that if Google knows that its shopping results will be on the first page of results that users see, then it's got no real incentive to improve its product. And if other firms know that their ads won't be coming up until the 4th or 5th page of a Google search, which few people ever click through to, then they've got no incentive to provide a better product either. So in the end, there's no innovation and the consumer loses out.
Indeed. One last question for you, Elena. The EU Commissioner has been pretty aggressive of late. It ordered, she ordered the island to recover nearly $15 billion of what it described as illegal tax benefits from Apple. Has that payment been made? What's the latest in that case?
Well, the Irish state has refused to collect 15 billion euros from Apple. It's taking that case to the European Court of Justice. But the idea here, as you're saying really from Margrethe Vestager, the Competition Commissioner, is to set a precedent. In Google's case to other tech firms that the Commission believes have too much of a monopoly in certain sectors of the economy, and in the Apple case to numerous firms, not just in tech, firms like Amazon, which are the subject of other tax avoidance investigations, an example to let them know that the EU does know where its money is going, and if it's not paying the correct taxes, the EU will come and clamp down on it.
Indeed, some pretty interesting times to do live in there. Elena Casas in Brussels, Belgium. Thank you.